Hello, I'm the real life fake wizard. For nearly 2 years, I have been making videos and ending each with a call to action to cancel your Disney Plus subscription, and the reason for that is because the content Disney has been making for maybe the last 8 years has been mediocre, offensive, and destructive. Disney Plus content has been nothing but damaging for franchises like Star Wars and Marvel, producing lore-breaking entries that alter narratives and bore audiences. With every Disney Plus series, Star Wars sees a decline in viewership and fans exit the franchise. With every Disney Plus series, Marvel gets more and more diluted, reducing any reason for fans to continue caring about these superheroes. The absolute downfall of these billion-dollar franchises should be studied in universities as examples of what not to do when you're flying too close to the sun. And at a time when Marvel has never been weaker, at a time when the continuation of the entire franchise lies in the hands of a budget-bloated and extremely risky Avengers Doomsday later this year, we find Wonder Man, which just had its full season drop on Disney+. Yeah, so Wonder Man is what you get when you bully corporations into giving you what you want. It's what happens when entertainment companies actually try really hard to make something good. Wonder Man is the best show Disney Plus has ever made. Today's indie game shoutout is Shockwave Triggers, an arcade high-resolution pixel art shoot-'em-up in which you use the power of shockwaves and good timing to get the most bonus points from destroying enemies. It's simple: shoot, dodge, wait, and shockwave. To learn more about this and hundreds of other indie games, visit our free indie game discovery network, fakeportal.com, or scan the QR code on your screen. Now back to the video. Yeah, this is a hard video to make. Having spent so much time being opposed to what Disney creates, it's very hard for me to look at this show and say, oh my gosh, it's good. Like it's objectively good. It's not good enough to subscribe to Disney Plus, however, so I don't recommend doing that at all. You're not missing a major entry in the MCU if you don't subscribe for this. In fact, cancel your subscription to Disney Plus if you have one. We'll talk more about that later. Also, spoilers ahead, so be warned. That should be obvious. Wonder Man 2026 is lightning in a bottle. This is a one-off show that has nothing to do with the overall MCU universe. It exists on its own. I don't think it will even ever be referenced again in anything else, nor would I want it to. I don't trust them to get this right a second time. This series should be left alone in the isolation it exists in. This is not conventional Cape Crap product. This is not even really a superhero show. And that's why it works. This is about a man trying to exist in a world where his powers create a challenge for him to live the life he wants. This is an extremely unconventional origin story. It's not about what his powers are, or where he got them, or what tragedies befell him in his past. The show does a wonderful job of showing and not telling. It doesn't need to show you the Martha Wayne beads falling in slow motion for you to know that something bad happened in Simon's past that led us to this moment. And that's very refreshing storytelling. They give you just enough details from the past at just the right time to bridge the gap into who Simon Williams is and why he is who he is. You know, we keep covering the whole second screen philosophy that Netflix has, where they tell their creatives to have the actors repeat the plot points over and over and over, just in case someone was scrolling on TikTok and missed key details. Also, hey you, my eyes are up here. If you were second screening me right now and you're not subscribed, now you have to subscribe because I caught you. Yeah, anyway, this show doesn't have any of that second screen stuff. It's a genuinely well-written, well-acted, and well-shot story from start to finish. The cinematography is also very good in this. It requires you to pay attention and then gives you a reason to. Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Sir Ben Kingsley are great together. These two are excellent together, putting on this buddy drama where both characters are extremely flawed and ridiculous, but also genuinely funny. And this is better acted than any other MCU superhero show on Disney+. Like when you watch Moon Knight or Ironheart or Agatha All Along, you know you're watching some kind of dorky superhero junk food slop content. The acting is just a little too over the top. The actually Reddit comedy. The constant inside joke wink nods at the camera. It's all insufferable. Whereas Wonder Man's comedy is not in them needing to crack jokes like conventional MCU humor. You're laughing because of the nonsense that's happening on screen. The show puts its actors in situations where you'll laugh because it's playfully ridiculous. Like, remember Barry? Remember HBO's Barry and the comedy style of that show? Like how it would be funny and then ridiculously serious? That's how Wonder Man works. That's what Wonder Man does right. This show is Marvel writers looking over and copying Barry's homework. This show isn't just a comedy, and at times it's incredibly serious and it takes itself seriously. This is a Marvel show about making Marvel movies and the absurdity of Hollywood. From the opening scene to the ending, this series takes the piss out of Hollywood culture, and that is wonderful to see. Simon Williams is an aspiring actor trying to make a living as a starving artist in modern-day California. He might be good at acting, but he can't quite get out of his own way, and in the opening scene, he's working on a shoot and starts trying to backseat direct. This gets him fired from the show, and as he gets home, he discovers his girlfriend was secretly trying to move out while he was at work. Okay, so this opening does a great job of telling us a few things. This guy is super committed to his craft, he knows what he's talking about professionally, but even when people agree with him, he can't get out of his own way. His impulses stop him from being able to be part of a team or communicate well with others. And then, that's reinforced by him getting home and his girlfriend is moving out. Well, what are the circumstances as to why she's moving out secretly? Does she suck? Is she a terrible girlfriend? That's very possible. Is Simon just having a terrible day? Also, yes, that's possible. But more so, Simon has a problem connecting with people. And then the rest of the show explores that, and by the end, he's experienced a proper character arc. It was refreshing to see something from Disney, where not only is the main character deeply flawed and having to overcome challenges, but throughout the show, you don't know if this dude is gonna snap. Yeah, there are times where you're thinking, is this a villain origin? Is he gonna snap and become a fugitive? That can't be right. I don't know Wonder Man comics, I'm not a Wonder Man fan, but I'm pretty sure he's an Avenger at some point. And that's because they do a great job making you suspend disbelief. Now, it might sound like I'm glazing this show, and I don't really care. Maybe I am. I'm just so used to everything being complete garbage that finally seeing something that has even a semblance of competence is like a breath of fresh air, man. There are going to be a lot of people who see this and watch my video here and say, this show is boring, or it feels too long. I can see where they're coming from. This isn't really a superhero show. This hardly has superpowers or big action set pieces in it. It doesn't need them. It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of story. There's also a massive exploration of Hollywood and Hollywood culture in this. In years past, I spent an extremely brief amount of time in the belly of the Hollywood beast, and I literally fled from there. Okay, that place sucks. I saw how superficial the actor's world is. This show does a great job of not only capturing that, but mocking the crap out of it. Everyone in this show has that snooty California superficial superiority. You know what I'm talking about. Like, everyone has that I'm better than you, I'm an acteur attitude. And that's very real. And this show takes the piss out of that. There is no talking down to the viewers. This isn't trying to preach at you. It's a very real representation of how ridiculous Hollywood culture and the acting world is. Yeah, like if you pay attention to the background of this show, you see people have the giant $200 ring lights in their homes just in case they need to do a video audition or shoot a TikTok. That's all real. Also, people walking around with mobile tripods in their bags, that's also very real. The locations, though, are real too, because a lot of this show is shot on location in LA. Wonder Man is not MCU. They didn't produce this like MCU anything. This is what if we made a Marvel, but styled it like an A24 art piece that mocks Hollywood and threw millions of dollars at it. The current estimates online claim that this was done for $100 million, and it's split into 8 25-ish minute episodes. Now, a lot of people are complaining that this was dumped on Disney Plus all at once, and that Marvel was putting this out to die and we'll all forget about it. I don't know how I feel about that. With the way this show ends, it doesn't feel like they're gonna come back for more, nor do I want them to. If the character appears in something like Avengers Secret Wars, it would actually feel out of place for what this series was. This show is a beginning and ending, and tells its story without overstaying its welcome. and I very much appreciate that. You get the full experience. And I really like the subtlety of the ending. I don't need any more Wonder Man here. It also doesn't set up for more nonsense. This isn't a trailer for more things to come in 5 years. Also, the oh my gosh, it should have dropped in weekly episodes. No way, man, not this show. This feels more like a mini-series that's meant to be watched in one sitting. You would lose swaths of people if they had to wait week to week. Wonder Man is a binge watch, and I think that's reflective in the runtime. Now I want to speedrun a couple of standout points. This handles cameos in the best way I've seen the MCU do it. They're meaningful, they're lighthearted, they're also very funny and very unexpected. Secondly, there is no baggage from other MCU shows holding this down. This is a direct sequel to Iron Man 3 with Trevor Slattery known by everyone as the Mandarin. I love how they handled this. You do not need to have seen Shang-Chi at all. This completely cuts that away, picking up Trevor's story immediately after Iron Man 3. The third big standout here is that Wonder Man has positive depictions of fathers. Yes, and this gets a ton of points from me. If you pay attention to most Disney properties, men are walkout dads, walkout husbands, villains, losers, quitters, bitter, hopeless, stupid, and most times moronic. We get variations of all these negative adjectives in all the Disney properties now. Having Wonder Man feature positive depictions of dads and families was wonderful. We need more content in the world showing good dads, because there's a lot of good dads out there. And that brings us to the segment that I promised to get into earlier. Even though I just spent nearly 10 minutes glazing for this show, should you subscribe to Disney Plus for it? Is Marvel back? Are we so back, you guys? No, not at all. This is a one-off, a side project, a $100 million spinoff. This is lightning in a bottle, a story and production that aren't meant to be replicated. Exhibit A, this is a Marvel Spotlight, which is the banner you see when the episodes open. Marvel Spotlight projects are in continuity within the MCU, but they are designed to be standalone stories that do not require prior knowledge of other MCU movies or series. The show is good in the bubble it exists in. It has no connection to the overall MCU, which means it means nothing. It's just a good watch to pass the time or make a YouTube video about. It means nothing to the overall canon and likely won't be referenced again. I don't see Wonder Man coming back. And in that nature, it's not worth your money or your subscription dollars. You can catch this when you catch it, where you catch it. You can see it if you see it. You don't need to go out of your way for this because it means nothing. The MCU is still in the damaged and vulnerable state it was already in. This didn't save anything. And I think it's worse than that, actually, because this show proves that there are at least a handful of people with competency at Marvel, and yet they still made WandaVision. They still made Moon Knight. They still made Ironheart and released all of those shows. And all of those shows and all the others I didn't name are extremely important inside of the MCU. But all of those shows are god-awful terrible. They're all bad. WandaVision is offensive in every regard, a mystery box rug pull that wastes your time week after week after week. And you know what? All the other Marvel shows did that too. Waste your time and dull the canon. But here we have Wonder Man, which is good in its bubble and doesn't ruin the movies at all. It pairs nicely with them. And this is what all of the shows should have been. The serious acting and the serious nature of this show is what Moon Knight should have had. Look, that's not me saying that there should have been less fighting or less CGI in Moon Knight or WandaVision. What I'm trying to say is that those other shows should have taken themselves seriously too. Wonder Man knows exactly what it is, yet takes itself seriously. There is a sincerity here. The actors take it seriously. It's ridiculous performances without being performative. It's believable. It's not talking down to viewers or trying to waste their time. It's just trying to tell you a story. But that doesn't mean Hollywood or Disney is going to change. Hollywood and the entertainment companies are as absurd as the show makes them out to be, and they're not going to learn anything from what made Wonder Man work. I liked this show, but Marvel is not going to get all serious all of a sudden. It's the same old stuff, and that should not be rewarded with your subscription payment. I believe that the scrutiny and skepticism from Marvel detractors like myself created Wonder Man in the state they have now released it. This was an experiment for Marvel that began in 2022, and after years and years of people begging for them to get serious. Now they have, and it was good once. but it's not an indication that they'll improve in the future. If they do, however, improve, then I will be pleasantly surprised. I will be very surprised. If every project Disney produced was of Wonder Man caliber, I wouldn't have to say cancel Disney Plus. But until next time, create, innovate, inspire others to do so as well, and for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. All right, I should also mention there is no rewatchability. I just thought of that, like, as we were in the middle of recording the video. Yeah, Wonder Man's good for a one-time watch, zero rewatchability. I would not watch this again. But it's good for that one time. All right, that's enough. Bye-bye.